Hello, Cambridge. My name is Stephen Arnew, and this is my critical reflection. This is my content page. My presentation follows. In the first slide, first few slides is general information, and after that, it's question 1. After that, it's question 2. After that, it's question 3. After that is question 4, and then finally my conclusion. On this slide is included pictures of my production team and their roles in this production company. In our production company, Teriyaki Studios. I am Steven, but Faith's role is the cinematographer, co-director, and executive producer. My role is editor, executive producer, cinematographer, and sound effects manager. Teresa, which is our main director, but her role is co-director, who also served as executive producer and scriptwriter for our film. Question 1. How does your product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues? Starting with this presentation and throughout most of our film, we drew on the research from colors in films and their meaning in films, which is why even though our movie is affiliated with the horror genre, and a red font would have made it more obvious, due to the fact it also is in the suspense genre, I chose to make the title white to represent the blank slate that could be interpreted from my movie, as the synopsis follows. Alex, the main character, creating a new one. As a consumer, you don't know what kind of persona he may take up. It could be a murderous one, or it could be a popular one, which is why my team decided to make most of the props the main character Alex used, specifically the color red. The character had a red car, shoes, clothes, and red often symbolizes power or radiating confidence, in which Alex does not demonstrate, as he is more reserved and has trouble speaking clearly and displays a bit of social anxiety in his interaction with others. Traditionally, for horror movies, the settings are traditionally darker, and for outside scenes there is less light, and the setting should be more quiet, and the main source of lighting is moonlight or street lights. Contrary, our movie challenges those conventions, as my production company added scenes where natural sunlight was used, and there are only about 2 scenes towards the end where the movie is silent and free of voila in the background or characters' dialogues. Which brings us to my next slide. Our intentions when composing the film was to make sure the viewer knew that the storyline was unwrapping throughout a school day. Because there are so many high school films, high school is not intended to be a quiet place, unlike a library. There's supposed to be drama, which is why there's a scene included where there's a group of girls talking at a table, along with a certain level of diversity, because high school is a place where teenagers change and come closer to finding their respective styles, displayed by the girl sitting at the table with the dark goth-like makeup. The African-American stereotype shouldn't need much elaboration, but to be clear, Alex has a nice car and nice clothes, which are very expensive, and the school environment isn't the best, so it wouldn't be so far-fetched in modern-day society if he had been committing a crime, or there had been suspicions of. Question number 2. How does your product engage with the audiences, and how would it be distributed as a media text? Our product engages with audience by creating an authentic viewer's experience. Yes, it isn't every high school that someone creepy may be chasing you down the hallway, but there will always be a sort of popular person or the cute new boy, along with the diversity of the movie. Because it's high school, our movie is inherently diverse because of the many different people you may meet in high school. Throughout the film, there have been cool black people, awkward black people, goth black people, a white girl, a white teacher, and a whole background filled with a number of people from different backgrounds. So the possibility of connection to the audience is wide. Personally, when watching scary movies, they spend so much time preparing to scare you that they end up boring you because the range of action is generally limited. So my team did it differently. Instead of using one storyline and focusing on one character, we did multiple, including Alex running away from his past, Mabel getting chased by a killer, Vanessa getting killed, all while school is going on. And still, the drama aspect of high school was not lost. But it would not have been interesting either if I had so much going on and the camera stayed stayed in the same place the whole time. So we use different techniques and camera movements to keep the viewer engaged like a whip pan in a dramatic conversation. To distribute the product, we chose modern day streaming services like Netflix and Hulu because of our targeted audience. Most teenagers would have a phone before an expensive car that they most likely can't afford, but they are more likely to be able to afford a cheap monthly subscription, which will maximize our profits and increase our watch time. Another thing about those applications is that they also showcase movies inside the app itself and could recommend our movie to the consumers. Which brings us to question 3. How did your production skills develop through this project? In the first steps of making the movie and completing assignments like the storyboards, certain movies and TV shows like Scream and Vampire Diaries served as great examples on how I could plan my movie. Vampire Diaries was one of the better ones because it followed vampires committing murders and people going missing inside a traditional high school plot with drama and romance. Another assignment, like the film structure assignment, also served as a benchmark on how far our skills as a production company has come as well. We were able to deeply analyze our film and be aware of the certain elements we were lacking, and if not, identify the ones we had in an organized manner. Throughout the preliminary, research, pre-production, and post-production stages, I have blogged to record the progress. Blogging was a great resource I used to document my development as an executive producer of a film, and the research and exercises I had completed prior to prepare me for this assignment, as I could use reflection in times where I needed to see exactly where I was at and the direction I needed to go in. And lastly, question 4. How did you integrate technology, softwares, hardware, and online in this project? I use Blogger to document my journey as starting from a student without any prerequisite experience as a media studies student to now a film producer. WeVideo was a software I used to edit my film and apply sound effects to it. I use Word to edit my planning documents in the pre-production stages of the film, and I use PowerPoint to create what I am presenting at this moment. For hardware, I pretty much used my teammates and iPhone to film, which made filming a lot easier because we were already familiar with how to work our personal devices. Essentially, the same thing went for my laptop because I was familiar with how to use it, so it saved us a lot of time with transferring the files and exactly formatting it correctly to transfer to different softwares. So it made the process a lot easier and faster. In conclusion, I learned the importance of camera shots and angles in film and their purposes, so when eliciting emotions from the audience and keeping them engaged, and how to work as a group. Our team building exercises has made my production team become a more efficient group and get more work done in a timely manner and produce quality work. And how to properly conduct research about a film and apply the principles. Certain things like camera movement. I have been watching movies since I was a little, since I could see. But until I took this class, I wasn't able to dissect those certain elements that made the film, even down to the color and, how important it is what the character themselves wear, which I articulated in my film.